Yes, a very good evening to you tuned in to UBC TV. We thank you so much for following and we welcome you to this week's edition of UBC One-on-One with Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Thank you so much for following all our programs. We talk politics, we talk business, we talk health, we talk survival, everything. And this time round, we'll talk a little of business, how people make money. We have brothers and sisters that come to Uganda from different countries and they invest here. How do they find our country? How do they find business? How do they look at business in our country? What attracts them to invest in Uganda? And at the end of the day, how do they succeed? There are things we blame them for. But again, how do they look at us? So, this evening, we are talking to somebody, a Ugandan businessman, but of a Pakistan origin here in Uganda. His name is Naveed Ahmed. He works here in Uganda and he has been here for a long time and he will tell us more. Sir, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
For how long have you been in Uganda? Let's start from there.
I have been in Uganda for the last 12 years.
For the last 12 years. Okay. Did you come with money to invest in Uganda? How did you get to know about Uganda? And how did you come to Uganda?
Definitely by the time I came to Uganda, I had known little about Uganda.
Okay.
I didn't know much. But one of my friend invited me to Uganda, come and invest here. By then I was, I would say, a very young man. And unfortunately, the person who invited me to Uganda, he conned me, he cheated me with all of my money. That is the starting
I'm
point.
sorry for laughing about it. So, you were invited to Uganda by somebody, and on arriving to Uganda, that very person cheated you.
Yeah, but I want to make it clear that it wasn't a Ugandan person who invited me. So don't run away that I am starting with a bad story. It was one of our own Asian guy.
Okay.
I won't say Indian or Pakistani, but was Asian.
He was a fellow Asian.
Fellow Asian, yeah.
So how did it happen? Briefly, in a second. What did he do to you? And how did you run away with your money?
Actually, he had a business of wholesale. I was importing biscuits and some of the stuff from Malaysia. So he was well organized conman, I would say, because he managed to convince me beyond reasonable doubt that actually this business has a good potential. And formally, I was living in Europe. I had, before coming to Uganda, I spent approximately 8 years in Europe, various different countries. The longest country I'd stayed now is Uganda, but second is Spain. So I didn't know that somebody can be even conned that way. The guy showed me how he was importing containers of biscuits and all that. And then there are stores. Actually, what he could do, he'd take me to Coempe where some of the stores were, and he tells them that I am bringing somebody who wants to buy their goods. Okay? On my side, he opens the stores and he's like, these are the containers we imported and we have this stock in place.
Yet it was some other person's business.
Yes, it wasn't his. So then he had an office around Old Kampala. He also had rented recently, by then, I didn't do much investigations and I almost lost, by then, 2008, around 30,000 US dollars.
What he took from you?
I would say that whatever I had earned while working in Europe was taken away. So I was brought back to zero.
So sorry about that. But have you managed to turn around the story?
I would say I thank God, and I do not need any kind of sympathy. You know, people who are sympathy seekers, they are ever sadist. I thank God that was an opportunity. Actually, I would say that it costed me 30,000 US dollars to just land in Uganda.
Okay.
But
So
it was worthy.
that was 2008.
2008.
So you settle in here and start business. How did you start up again?
That's why I would.
Because I see this as a way that would frustrate you and things like
That's
that.
why I would say those who are watching, please don't run away. I am like you. I was like you. I know majority of the people who are watching this show, they will tell you that I have plans. If I get an opportunity and I get capital, I will do this and I will turn things around. But I will tell you that it's not an opportunity which will take you far. And oh, maybe if you are running away from Uganda thinking that I don't have capital, and if I had capital, I would have done that. But I assure you that I am like you. I started like you. I did not have any capital. When yes, I came with a capital, but if it was, I mean, when it was taken away, I was broke.
Took you down to zero.
It took me down to zero, and I started from there.
Okay. So what did you start with? Because money is taken, you are in a foreign country, you're just on your own. So how did you start?
The first thing is like it took me almost a year following it up in my what I had already been conned, and to my disappointment, I never got even single shilling back, because wherever I was going, they were asking for evidence. How did you bring the money? And con men, they are smart. They will take money away from you while they don't want to leave any exhibit behind. So unfortunately, I didn't get my money, but with God's grace, I was motivated, and I never lost hope. I was like, no, I can still make money. And I started with working with some company as one of their salesmen. Then I was promoted to maybe their sales manager, and some time back when I had worked for some time, I realized that I need to start my own. I had gained enough experience in how vehicles are imported in Uganda, and how they are sold, the I mean the taxation system, how much we pay, how we are to import and all that. So I was like, I need to start with my own business. And by then even, I would say that when I started, I did not have money to import like 100 cars or maybe 50 cars. I just started with a few cars, and I thank God that things did not go wrong, and everything was like well managed.
What would be your comment about Uganda as a country for investment?
Among the Asian community, I would say that not only my view, we all believe that Uganda is land of opportunity, and Uganda is like anybody can thrive here. Not only that, scientifically, they would say that for bacteria to thrive, there should be a warmth, there should be this and that, but Uganda is a country where anybody, so long as you follow some of the principles, business principles, like you build your trust in the market, you make sure that you keep time, you have that financial literacy in you, and you are well at saving, then one of the biggest advantage I would say foreigners have in this beautiful country is that they are given equal rights. That's one. They are given, I would say, maximum hospitality, which I highly appreciate. I have been to various countries, but it's not that I am praising Uganda because I'm in Uganda. I am an honest person, and I would love to say that Uganda is one of the best country when it comes to investment, and it has millions of opportunities.
I want you to break that down. Why do you say it was one of the best countries when it comes to investment? What are those factors that you look at to take such a conclusion?
Number one, you can start in Uganda as small as you want. Maybe if let's say that somebody can start with one car, you import one car, and there is a good profitability. In Uganda, whoever is doing business, actually people are making money. I just give you one example. Recently, I wanted to buy some computers and computer accessories for my smart cards business. We went to town with my manager, and after purchasing the goods, when I came and I was doing research, I am somebody who love knowing that how much is sold on GG, how much is it maybe if I'm to buy from China. To my surprise, when I found the same mouse which I bought at 25,000 shilling in town, it is sold at between 80 cent to 120 cent, which is between 3,000 to 4,500 shilling. in China. When you import that to Uganda, the maximum cost of shipping and clearance and taxation you are going to spend is, let's say, on each piece you would spend like 1,500 to 2,000 shilling. So when it reaches your stores, that mouse is costing you something like 7,000 shilling or 6,500.
Yes.
And imagine each I bought at 2,000, I mean 25,000 shilling. So you can see profit margin, it is too much. Not compare with where I was, like in other countries, like even if I am to compare with Pakistan, where you go and you want to buy something, like you go to pharmacy, every bottle or every tablets or whatever you are buying, the price is written on top of it that it is 26 rupees. But here in Uganda, no, it's a liberal market. So long as
For those of you that are business people, this is the best place to stay.
I would say, I was still mentioning one of, you see, profitability, it's not one of the major factor. The major factor is stability. I mean, how safe are we while we are in Uganda? I've been here for the last 12 years. Apart from, I would say, they took my phone, they took my phone. Apart from being victim of phone thefty, simple things which and it was, I would say, due to my own ignorance, I mean ignorance, no, carelessness. Yeah, I was at Kamocha typing stuff while my friend was driving, they just came and took it. But I would say that is everywhere, it's not only in Uganda. But when you look at general security situation in Uganda, it's really good. Which business, I mean investors, they really prefer invest before they invest in any country. They want to know whether is our investment safe.
Now, you yourself, what are those things? At least we have looked at the good side. As an investor, as somebody from a different country, what are those things negative you have observed about Uganda?
That one I have to now, really, you have asked me a hard question.
Yes.
Um,
What are the things you have not liked about us?
what I have not liked, I would say, you are going to regret asking me that question.
No, I will not regret.
I have not liked, one thing is that Uganda people live like, I would say, free life. They don't think about tomorrow. It's like majority of the people I would say I have dealt with, they are not, the saving culture is really poor when it comes to Uganda. Then there is somewhere, somehow, people, those who can't do anything, like they would say that foreigners, they come to Uganda and they are stealing our economy, our money, our this and that. But I would say not majority, people who educated, they know that, I mean, when foreign investors come, actually they do not come only with money. Me, I came with money, I lost it, right? But is it not the same country? Where I started with zero, and at least with God's grace, I would say that now when you talk about my companies like Babu Motors or maybe Smart Cabs, well known in Uganda and people know it about it. So I would say, if you had to ask me one negative thing about Uganda, it's like poor saving culture, and then people are running away before they could evaluate that Uganda has millions of opportunities which you will not get elsewhere. I would say, let's say that if I am given an opportunity, maybe some of the countries where Ugandans wish to go, they give me like, let's say, $1 million. I'm not talking of 100,000, $1 million plus their nationality. Trust me, I will not go. Now,
like which country, for example, won't you go to?
I am saying one of the best countries in the world. I mean, where people, like in Uganda, everybody wishes that I go to, I mean, USA, UK, maybe Australia. It's not that they are not good for living, but as a businessman, I have to see that in Uganda, first of all, ease of doing business is really very easy to do business in Uganda. There are no obstacles, hassles where you have to really struggle to make sure that you are, you know, Uganda is one of the countries where you can do business, and if you know how to manage.
Why do you think with us Ugandans, again, like you say, we don't find our country the suitable place to do business, and we fly out, we go to wherever. Actually, we go to India and those countries where you guys are coming from, again, to invest in Uganda. Why do you think we don't see the opportunities that you guys see?
It's like in our language, they say that the bulb which lights the whole room, when you look at the dark sack on top of it, it's like the bulb, it cannot light its,
Its own roof.
its own roof. So I would say that it's unfortunate thing that majority of the creative people or people who can do a lot for the country, they are running away thinking that there are no opportunities. The biggest challenge they would tell you they face is they don't have capital. If they had capital, they will tell you that these Indians or Pakistanis or Wazungus, they come here, they do business, they thrive because they have their lot of capital. But that is not true. That is not true. I want you to, if you pay keen interest and you do some little research, you will find that a Pakistani or an Indian comes to Uganda, and many will agree with me that they come with some small investment. They start with some small shop or maybe whatever. In 2 years time, when you manage to get to the same premises where he opened business, you might find that he is now owning a big supermarket. It's not that they steal money, it's not that they stealing Uganda, it's because they have what we call a very good business relationship with the suppliers, which is one of the things I would say that people lack in Uganda.
Among us Ugandans.
I am sorry to say that, but one of the things which I have
Your
observed,
observation, it is okay, no problem.
because imagine that if somebody, I give you an example, I will not mention the company, I gave them orders to make reflectors for my company. I gave them advance money, almost 10 million shilling. Okay, it's a company around within Kampala here.
Yes.
And I am a somebody who promote one of the thing is made in Uganda. I really feel like I no need to import from elsewhere while we can make them
You
here.
want to buy whatever you
Yes.
can buy here.
So I did my research and learned that somebody is making them and is going to really supply us. I ordered something like now 4 months back, just 1,000 reflectors. I gave him that order and paid him all the money in advance. I would say not 100%, 70% the money. So for the last 4 months to 5 now, he has failed to deliver what he was supposed to deliver. And every day and then he comes here and says that, boss, you know, the problem is I would have supplied, but I don't have running capital. Maybe orders are many and I could not supply your stuff. If you are to give me now the balance 30%, I'll be in position to supply you the remaining 700 reflectors, because I think he has just given me 300 or 400, not even half. So that is one of the things we...
So generally, you find us not very good people when it comes to business.
not everybody. I am just giving you
A good number of us.
some of them, and I would say that these are the key things, because you asked me the difference between us and Ugandans. Why is it that we thrive and we multiply and grow rich very fast, yet not Ugandans? And I would say that these are one of the principles which I have mentioned. They do not really follow properly.
There are areas where people look at you as people, you come with money and invest here. Sometimes you even get tax waivers. Sometimes you take advantage of cheap labor. What do you know about that?
You are right when you say that people think...
about you.
I am Jano thing.
Yes.
You are right when you talk about that we have advantage, but trust me, there are no many advantages. The advantage we have here in Uganda as a foreigners, it's like a Ugandan, they trust us. That is the only advantage I have and we have. You put your vehicles next to me, you want to sell, your fellow Ugandans, they will come and buy from me, not from you. And this is the only advantage we have, I am telling you.
So, if I have a bond for cars near yours, fellow Ugandans will come to you most than me. Why do you think they trust you more than their own fellow Ugandan?
I would say the main reason behind is like in car business. Sometime maybe you are my client and you have come to buy a vehicle from me. Maybe I do not have that particular vehicle, but you want to buy from me. So you will say, okay, Mr. Naveed, I want Toyota Wish or maybe Toyota Harrier. Can you get me that? Now I have to look among my colleagues who has it with the specifications what you want.
Yes.
Now I just give you one simple example. I am a practical person. I always give you practical whatever. Some few, like 2 months back, somebody wanted Fielder, Toyota Fielder, which I did not have, and one of my I would say neighbors who is Ugandan, he is in a vehicle business, he had it. I asked him how much. You know, company to company we call it different price. So because we know how much it costs and he knows, so I gave him the price. At this price I'm going to buy from you. He was like, it's okay. I gave him 5 million as a commitment, as my client is bringing money tomorrow. So the following day my client brought the money or customer brought the money, and when I took the full amount to my neighbor to pay him, when he saw money on the table, he was like, man, the car you are buying from me, no, at that price I cannot sell. That I went home and I calculated the taxes and the cost price and all that. We had agreed something like, let's say 25 million for example.
Yes.
And he says, no, add 1 more million. Now I have cracked a deal with my customer and the customer has brought money. Now he has left me with no escape route. And he has created such situation whereby I can, because the customer has chosen the vehicle and he has liked it. So there is no way I can take back the money, and that's where I think they go wrong. Now I was forced to pay 1 extra million to him to take the same car.
Because you couldn't lose the customer, or you couldn't tell stories to the customer.
No, I was honest. I told the client that the vehicle I'm getting is from him. They said still we want to buy through you because of the customer care and afterward services. So they, I felt hurt.
Ugandans trust you, foreign investors, because of the mistrust among fellow Ugandans.
I would say that is bitter reality. It is truth. If you do investigations, you will find it in business, most especially where we are. So many, a Ugandan broker will bring you as a brother to the bond, and then later you will discover that he has actually taken 3 million or 4 million out of that deal as a friend whom you trusted most.
These guys are watching you on TV.
You asked me a question. If
Thank you so much, Naveed. We are taking a very short break. On return, we are going to talk business, how you have found business in Uganda. Now in detail, we are coming out of a lockdown and things like that. How you look at our young people, how can they be like you guys? Because we see many of your mates who come to Uganda for investment, so many of them are still youths, but they are excelling in business. So how do they manage to do that so that we can take a lesson from them? To you watching, actually, how do you look at the investors in Uganda as well? Because they are investors who are big, even than many of you. How do you look at them, and what do you think they do different that the rest of us can also take lesson? To you watching, this is a very interesting discussion. You do not have to miss. Let's enjoy this short break. It will be more of it on return.
Patriotism is a feeling of love, devotion, and the willingness to sacrifice for one's country.
I say no to corruption because I put my country first. I choose peace over violence because I put my country first.
I love Uganda. I serve Uganda. I sacrifice for Uganda. I'm loyal to Uganda. I love myself.
Be patriotic. Uganda first. This message is brought to you by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Co Uganda, Office of the President.
UBC One-on-One, welcome back from the break, and thank you so much for keeping it with us. We are discussing something to do with how our foreign brothers and sisters come here and enjoy this beautiful part of Africa, Uganda. how do they find us, how they look at us, and we also have to ask them some questions. My guest is Naveed Ahmed. He's a businessman in Kampala here, and he's an Asian, he's a Ugandan of Asian origin. Am I right? Okay. We also have a different way of looking at you people. Do you know?
Yeah,
What have you heard Ugandans talking about you guys? What do they say about you?
Mindi.
Eh. What are the things you really see, you hear Ugandans complaining about you?
Some of the things we hear them complaining, I think number one is like mistreatment.
Okay.
I hear a lot about it, that they are not treated or given such respect the way they deserve it. Then another thing we are accused of is like that we are taking a lot of wealth away from Uganda, which I will not agree. It's not true, but the first one, to some extent, I'll agree with you.
So do you agree? Because actually, I'll give you a little detail about the mistreatment. People complain about you taking advantage of the cheap labor in Uganda. You pay either little or sometimes don't pay. Some of you get even tempted to slap and do things like that to Ugandans that work for you. Some others go hungry. Others are tempted even to steal in your shops because you don't give allowances. You don't mistreatment in its detail. Are you saying you have heard this and seen?
I would say I have heard about it and read about it because I read a lot, but not witnessed as me myself. When it comes to, you see, you asking general question, I would say that it is there. I have heard about it and I know that it happens.
Why do you think these people mistreat their workers to an extent of not paying them? Is it the culture where they come from? Why do you think they get tempted to behave that way? With the good that you said, the hospitality and how people receive you, why do they reciprocate that way?
I think I would say that it's unfortunate thing. There are those, not everybody or every foreigner who comes to Uganda does that to their workers or their people whom they work together. There are few who do that, and I think it is their behavior, where they come from. And secondly, if also somewhere Ugandans are too good. It's like when you tell somebody that sit down, he sits down. You tell him stand up, he stands. He obeys you like, like I would say as you are his master or her master. But the thing is, I would definitely discourage my fellow Asians and other foreigners who are like me here in Uganda. I would say that we are given maximum hospitality and we are given maximum respect, and I would say that Ugandan, they deserve more because we are living in Uganda, we are doing business here, and if we can't give them more than what they deserve, at least we give them what they deserve. For example, if you deserve 110% and you are giving me 100%, at least I should give you 100% back.
Okay. When we read history, we are told that Uganda at one point we were on a par in terms of economic development and status with India, Singapore and such countries. In a general outlook, you have been in this country for 12 years. I want you to look at Kenya and the region as well. What do you think is keeping us a little behind, away from those countries that with whom we were at some level?
First of all, I would say that Uganda, we all know that it's a landlocked country, and some of the resources, actually not that, I would say that not every country is lucky like Saudi Arabia, where they have discovered oil and their richness is the base is, is petroleum. Actually Uganda, one of I would say we were affected by rebellion. Uganda was and then on top of that Uganda has never been having a stable economy due to since we got independence. I would say that a growth needs stability, growth needs proper flow of I would say the democracy, and it needs also the policy makers and all that, they should be favoring. Like I would give you a simple example of UAE. People think that they are rich because of oil. Oh, they have a lot of oil coming, and no. I think what made UAE rich, it's their policies and the business. I would say, like somebody wants to go to Dubai to invest, within one day he can go. You buy online ticket, you buy online visa, you buy everything and go. They made sure that business friendly policies, and they also made sure that the policies are benefiting their local. Actually, in countries like Dubai, there are more foreigners than the local one, and no foreigner can go to Dubai and start having lands and businesses and all that. That's why when earlier on you asked me, I told you that Uganda is one of the easiest country to do business.
Okay. We have investors here. Our local, our own indigenous Ugandan investors. How do you look at them? What do you think enables them to grow that rich, to have all the success, as some other Ugandans are complaining? What do you think? Because you see the poverty in our country, but there are people that have managed to make it. Yes.
I think first of all, the question is what made them rich. Okay, what made them rich? It's because they are not among the people who stand other side of the door, and the opportunity is standing opposite side of the door, and between the two parties, you and the opportunity, there is a door. You are waiting for the opportunity to open for you the door, and yet opportunity is waiting for you to open the door, so you have the opportunity. So I think they were lucky, they opened for the opportunity and they got it. I told you earlier on that Uganda is land of opportunities, and if you, for example, try here and there, while I was studying, one of our professor was used to say that knock until somebody opens. So knock until somebody opens means that you keep on trying until you succeed. So I mean, what made them what they are today, it's not because they were given sacks of money by the government or they stole sacks of money from other peoples and that's why they are rich. No, I think every successful person has a struggle behind, and they struggled for it, and they never dreamt. One of the reason majority even in Pakistan remains poor, they think that maybe if I am given $10,000 or if I am given 100,000 US dollars, I will do this. And how will it happen? There is no way that somebody out of the sky will come and give you that $10,000 or $100,000, that have it and go and make money out of it. If you cannot make that $5,000, trust me, even if somebody gives you that $5,000, you will never be able to make that 5,000 to 50 and then from 50 to 500, $500,000. You cannot manage. So that's it.
Be the best way to grow a business. There are so many people watching you. They have their small businesses. What are those things people would do with money to multiply it?
Thank you very much for asking that question. Actually, the best way to grow is think out of the box. I would say when you, let's say you are selling maybe, you have a small business like you are cooking food and selling it to the people who are working near your restaurant.
They pay me in the evening.
Yeah.
I have children to take care of. I have a house to pay rent. I have things to meet, costs to meet. How do I meet these costs and again keep the business thriving and growing?
Yeah, that's why I told you thinking out of the box. Like somebody who is doing that, actually they are not doing business, they are surviving. Okay, somebody has a shop, he goes to Chukubu, he buys things worth maybe 500k, he sells them 550, has gotten a profit of 50,000. That person is not a businessman, he is not doing business. What he is doing, at least he is surviving. Okay, now what do I call business? Business is going, you have to be like a bird. You have to leave the business behind and make sure that you are bringing people to your business. Previous old version of doing business was like you put your business, people come to your business, right? Now the new version, I would say the formula has changed. Now you have to look for people. I would say, for example, we have international companies here in Uganda, like some of them, Total, Shell, McDonald's. I will mention so many, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. What I mean, if they were to sit there in USA and
They will
other
not
European
make
countries,
the profits they made
and then
after going all over the world.
definitely were they going to have such big or huge sales. So what made them thrive or grow in business? It's because they decided to market their business, and marketing is a very big tool to grow your business. And the best way to grow your business, actually, there are two simple things. One is build your assets instead of taking away money from the business. For example, let's say you have a restaurant, right, and on average monthly you are earning 1 million, right. Now and that 1 million, maybe 800 goes to your expenditures, and you have no way you can grow. So I would say, first of all, you need to save, struggle a little bit. Yes, you struggle to reach to that business, and try to put more assets. For example, if you do not have a machine which makes juice, you put there a machine for juice, and people who come to eat your food, they will also buy juice. And now you are, instead of buying it from outside, they are buying it from you, and which costed you maybe 300,000, but now you have an extra income of 10 to 15,000 daily, right. So it's like you add on, keep on adding more assets, but add according to what you can manage. So that is one. Two, do marketing. For example, let's say if I had that restaurant, I would say that I will get people who cook food. I maintain the quality and hygiene of my food. Then I go to, there are so many people who sit in the offices, and if I'm in Nigeria and they are in town, it doesn't mean that they have to buy food in town. If my quality is good, my food is affordable, and it is delicious, definitely they will give me order that supply us daily.
There are people that do all that, but again, fail on how to manage liquid cash because of the so many costs around them. I have 5 children. I have to pay rent. I have to pay rent for the for the workplace. I have to transport, all that. How do I manage that? How do you people manage all those costs, your survival, and again get the profits and also grow the business?
Yeah, one of my friend keeps on telling me that one of the reason you people grow and you have ability to save more, it's because you are not in your country. You are not attending your uncle's wedding. You are not contributing on Kachara. You are not going for Suji Marua. You are not sitting in the evening with your friends and you are buying them beers. It is true, but I think the main reason, I always disagree with him. The main reason it's not, we also do, we go out, we spend. By the way, when you go to Nakasero, you might find that if I'm to shop vegetable for 1 week, and the food what we eat, it's like 1 million shilling only food expenditure, and yet we are just 3 to 4 family members. I think what in business is needed is thinking out of the box. You said that the expenditures can be managed. Let me give you an example. There is a gentleman who came to buy a vehicle from me, and he had worked in one of the banks for some 5 years, and he was buying Toyota Harrier. By then it was 45 million shilling. But one of the reason people like me is because I am so friendly. I discuss with them. I share my business experience with them, and now he is my permanent customer. Now what happened? I asked him that why do you? He told me that I want to buy. I've been saving, and it's my dream car. I want to buy a Harrier Toyota. Then we had some discussion, and he was like that he works in the bank, but he soon planning to start his own business and all that. I told him, yes, if I was greedy, I would rush to sell my car and make profit. But I told him, my brother, if you have 45 million cash, you want to buy Harrier, have you built any asset? Now you are carrying home liability. The vehicle is going to be your liability. You have to spend more in fuel, you have to spend more in service, you have to spend more in other things, maintenance and all that. Yes. So I discussed with him for like 30 minutes, and I advised him what you do. Better use this money to buy like 3 small cars and do transport business. Okay, you are doing your job, maybe you are getting £1,000,000 per month, cars will bring you approximately 2 million per month. And in the next maybe 6 months or 1 year, if this money took you almost 5 years to reach 45 million, now you are at a right stage to make money. You know, there is a common saying that money makes money, right? Sure. So I told him that, my brother, better buy small 3 cars. He was like, now the thing is, it is very hard to sacrifice. I had saved for my vehicle. Now you are taking me to business. But trust me, today, I think he preaches my conversation with him to people like a gospel. He is very happy.
Because he took it and
he
it worked
has
for him.
10 cars right now.
Wow.
Within a period of, and yet he was doing it with this, for the last 2 years we have been going through COVID pandemic globally, and economy has not been really friendly, but he has managed to build his network, and he has his 10 cars and he is very happy actually.
What are the levels of unemployment in Pakistan?
Unemployment, I would say it's high as well, but not as high in Uganda.
Okay. So, do you think the Ugandan young people, who are the biggest number of the biggest portion of the population, that's the information they need to hear?
Yeah, they need to, if they want to grow, okay, then the Rio Capito is your brain. No money. Me, God forbid, I would say, if all the wealth or the money I have is taken away, I keep on saying, and I believe that I can still grow. Reason behind, it's not money which is making me grow, it's my relationship with my people. I can, by the way, I can make some few calls here to Ugandans, leave alone Pakistanis or Indians. And if you tell me that, Naveed, can you get 100 million within 1 hour? Trust me, from Ugandans, I'll show you that I have got 100 million within 1 hour.
You have built a network within Uganda, among Ugandans, that can support you with as much as 100 million.
That one I'm just giving you an example. So, take example, after the Second World War, Germany was totally, the biggest damage was in Germany, right? But Germany has grown to again among the first class countries, the developed countries. What made them grow? It's not they had a lot of money, but I think they continued with what they had. Like principles, like on my side, I would say what will make me again grow and reach where I want to reach, it's because of I have a lot of experience which I'm willing to share, I am sharing. And secondly, building network takes you time, and there is no way you can build a network without sacrificing, right? There are people I have given vehicles, they told me 6 months, 3 months, but they have taken a year without paying. If it was any other person would have rushed to grab that vehicle and bring it back. Yes, I need money. I politely call my client, I'm like, you know what, please, I need money. Then secondly, what will make me definitely come back to it's being creative. Because I'm a creative person and I always look for a solution. And some of the problems actually I'm solving it and I'm making money.
Okay. So, you are a car dealer. There's a time government wanted all cars that were manufactured 8 years, something like that, not to be imported. And you people were up in arms crying, and how have you solved that? Have you convinced government to get off? But I think they even approved it. It's now law.
Yeah, sure. It was 15 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually 15 years.
15 years. And I think it is a good law. Any of car dealers out there, they will say that what is he saying? The government of Uganda, the reason why they brought that is to cut on the harmful effects of old vehicles and mechanically poor vehicles. Maybe if 30-year-old car is coming here, whatever scrap somebody gets from elsewhere, they bring it to Uganda and dump it here. I think the policy was good, though it slowed down the business somehow. But like a car dealers, I think yes, we are affected, but not greatly as you are affected, the buyer. Because if the car was sold at, let's say, 30 million previously, and when the new system came in place, the vehicle price went to 40 million because of the environmental levy and all that.
Environmental protection.
Yeah. So the end buyer is the one who suffers the consequences, because if tomorrow they say that we don't allow, like many other countries where I come from, they don't allow car older than 3 years, 2 years actually. So one of the reasons they are doing that, and I, as a businessman, and I know that in near future, in few years to come, Uganda is going to follow that, because if you want the manufacturing companies to come to Uganda and start assembling vehicles here in Uganda, then definitely they are going to demand you that if you want me to produce my rice here, I am going to plant thousands of acres of rice here, then should you allow people who are importing rice, where am I going to sell? So the government definitely will agree with them that, okay, you plant, we shall increase the tax up to certain level where somebody will be forced to not to import.
What would be your message to the Ugandan young people watching you? Many of them have just left school. They're looking for what to do. What would be your message to them as we wind down?
My first and the greatest weapon I can give them, it is, which we in Uganda and many other parts of the world we are not utilizing it, it is internet. Internet is not even utilized 10% out of 100. For example, let's say you want to know how a shoes made, how a watch is made, how plastic buttons are made, extension cables are made. Go to YouTube, watch, you will learn. Go to internet, go to Google, how much investment is needed. You will, at least theoretically, you will have an idea what you want to do. It costs you like that. And also, let's say you are doing something, for example, and you want to grow, the best weapon you can use at the moment is internet, because it's almost free and you have maximum information. And definitely I can't really give you go ahead 100% and rely on the information you are getting from internet. Sometimes somebody can have a fake video there, but at least you can have an idea. You can use that one as a tool to be creative, think out of the box, and just know that there is nobody in this world who will come and give you money and will tell you that, Joseph, you know, here is 10 million, you have to put the weight of your burdens on your legs, you have to move and you have to be strong. In the beginning, every successful person in this world, those big people whom we admire and we are like, I want to be like so and so.
Yes.
Just know that they went through all what I am telling you. You should be ready for that.
They started themselves and they are enjoying whatever they
They are enjoying whatever they are. Lastly,
Yes.
I mentioned one thing which I want to clarify a little bit, that living false life will not help you. First admit who you are. For example, let's say a young man, he wants to put on a shoe of 300k, maybe a shirt. He has been working somewhere and he has gotten his 500k. He wants to put and show off. But time will come. Maybe you want to be like a chameleon, you want to be like a Babu, you want to be so and so. Yes, you will reach that level, but first build your foundation.
Because those people also built theirs.
So putting on expensive watch, having an iPhone, 5 million in your hand will not make you rich. What will make you rich is be yourself, invest in yourself, invest in your, social capital, invest in your principles, and tell yourself that, I can't afford an iPhone Pro 13 Max, which is 16 million, or 6 million or whatever. Let me be with a phone of 300k. As I am building my assets, as your assets grow, you are growing. And last,
Come when you can afford.
another message I would,
As we wind up.
yes, as I wind up, would like to give out one of the sector which is totally, I would say 90% still virgin, and people have not tackled. I would invite my fellow investors is manufacturing. Manufacturing, and most especially Uganda is, we call it cottage industry. Investing, for example, I give you some example, like making these plastic buttons for plug-in, plug-out extension cables. Go to Pakistan, go to India, you will find that making those buttons, you don't need a machinery of 500 million, 100 million, no, even 10 million machinery can do that. So that is what I would encourage, that Ugandans who can't afford to import expensive machinery, you don't need to go to China, India, whatever, at least look for a cheap machinery and start investing in manufacturing, which I am also soon coming there.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ahmed. We have shared a lot. We have shared a lot indeed. To you watching, we look for people that have the information that we need. That's what I always say, and we try our level best. This gentleman here is a Ugandan of Asian origin, but he's in Uganda, 12 years down the road, and is in business. He's a car dealer. But the social man he is, we picked interest in having a chat with him, get to know what he thinks about us, give us a picture of what other foreign brothers and sisters think about us, share with him what we think and we have told him, and again look at how he has managed to succeed in business for our own good. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Davis Kamukama here and Gloria Guitabinja, our producer. Wish you the best of the night. Enjoy the next program. Bye-bye.